So just a second. Hello, everyone. I'm waiting for Melanie from...
Hi.
Hey, hi, it worked. Oh my God.
Yes, well, I'm so happy. Nice to see
Hello.
you.
Yeah, hello, everyone. Oh, really? You have such a great light, Melanie. I'm jealous.
Thank you. Well, it's just like a 30-euro ring light from Amazon or something. Nothing special, but it does a job.
Yeah, no, you look great. So very nice
Thank
to see
you.
you. I'm sitting here with my warming bottle, period mode on.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better soon.
Yes, but we're here to talk about bras and boobs and basically a little bit of a background story. So it all started from me posting a question from one of my followers about how to find a bra for her size. I don't remember exactly what size it was, but it was on the large side.
Yeah, it was quite an
And
unconventional one.
yeah, and you started giving a lot of very useful information and things that I had no idea about. Also, as some of you that follow, you probably know that my boobs are very, very small. So finding a bra is not really that much of a problem. But I'm happy to learn about the different aspects of bra fitting, bras, and the whole industry and how it works. And also then later to broaden the topic and talk about boobs in general, because we love them, we hate them, but it's always important to talk about it, I think.
Completely agree. I think so many people have such an ambivalent relationship towards their own body, and especially boobs are so polarizing in so many aspects. And yeah, it's really a really interesting topic that we can probably talk about for hours and hours. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Also, because of that, just mention that Instagram allows us to talk for an hour. So if we are getting close to the time that it will cut us off, I will just notify so that we wrap it up and not be cut in the middle of a sentence. Yeah. Please feel free to start with sharing some information also about yourself and how you started, how you came to be here as an expert on bras.
Okay, well, I'm happy to do that. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for making this happen tonight. We talked about it for a long time, and I'm so glad that we can now finally speak to each other. Because I actually think we've never really spoken face to face.
No.
So it's super first time.
Yes.
So that's super
it's
nice.
One of those amazing Instagram connections, that happens.
Yes,
I don't know how, but
we're always liking your posts and commenting on them because we really like your aesthetic and the way how you're portraying people. And yeah, it's so nice when something like this comes out of that. But yeah, I'm happy to introduce myself. My name is Melanie. I am the co-founder of Brajuu, and we are an online marketplace who is specializing on finding bras that really fit to our customers' bodies. Mm-hmm. So we are basically kind of a mixture between a very classical online retailer, but as well we are a software company working with a lot of data, especially to find the perfect bra match for the variety of thousands of different boobs that we have out there. So it's a very interesting mixture because we are doing a little bit of both and kind of combining the best of both worlds, the best out of just being a normal classical online retailer, as well as really looking into what makes bras fit to different bodies, what are the needs of different body types, how are our bodies changing, and how can we accommodate these changes with different pieces of garments, with different bras. And yeah, it is actually a really personal topic, because this whole idea and this whole business came only about because I had for years and years and years such a hard time finding bras that fit. And I have relatively large boobs considering kind of my overall body type. So I was
Sorry, one question here I see appeared. Do you have anything lower than 38?
Not right now, but we will have soon.
Okay. Yeah. So tune in. Pure golden barrel.
But I can give you a recommendation where you can find, for very petite women, where you can find the best bras and an awesome kind of way of how they are helping you to find the right ones. It's not automated how we are doing it, but like I know a shop, an online shop where they are only specializing into bras for very petite women, and they are like helping you via email.
Great. I will also post all those links in stories later.
Yes, or just afterwards send me a DM and I can give you the contact.
Great.
But yeah, so yeah, this whole thing only came about because I had this problem myself the whole time, and I was always wearing bras that either wouldn't fit me at all, or they were kind of fitting to my body, but they had this kind of, you know, grandma type look. But just not, you know, they were just not pieces of garments that I, as a young woman, wanted to wear. And I really hated to go bra shopping. I hated to wear them. I just didn't like it at all. And then at some point I moved to the UK. And when I went shopping there, it was a completely different thing. I could suddenly find bras that fit me and that I liked in terms of the style. And it gave me a completely new kind of feeling about my body. It was a completely new way of wearing normal pieces of clothing as well, because, you know, when you have got well-fitting underwear, your whole clothes fit differently as well. And I found it really fascinating, and I don't know, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Something changed in my brain. And at some point I actually gave up my job to just learn everything that I could about bras, and started my own business. And, you know, one thing happened and then the next thing happened, and now we're sitting here and we are like a small little company with 5 people selling bras and trying to understand boobs and bras and how they match with loads of data. So yeah,
that's great.
Really just came out of my own personal problem.
Yeah, well, I would say that that's usually the best business, you know, because you're your first customer and you know what are the issues. And even before our talk, I asked, and actually a lot of women, like majority, there was one question when I asked, like, okay, so do you enjoy buying bras, or is it something that you hate? And unfortunately, majority of women said that they hate it. And then when I asked, like, why, usually there is a situation of uncomfortable changing rooms, the fact that every brand has a different way of you know, naming their sizes, and then you never really know if this is your size or not. You endlessly have to try it. And also the fluctuations of your weight that impact the fact how your bras look like, and etc., etc. So I would say, like, I don't even know basically how to start, but let's maybe start like very basically. What would you recommend if a woman like knows that probably her bra is not working, or she would need another one? What to do, where to go?
Okay, first thing, I would always encourage the women to ask themselves, like, what do I want out of a bra? What should it do for me? Like, do I want to have a bra that completely changes the way how I look, that is maybe, you know, completely sculpted and a molded cup? Or do I just want something that is providing me maybe with a little bit of support? Or do I want something that helps me, I don't know, wear like a white blouse that might be a little bit see-through and I don't want to give too much away? And really ask yourself, what do I want out of this garment, and what do I want out of the bra? Because actually I think that's one of the mistakes that a lot of women make. You know, you can't get everything just from one piece of clothing. You can't get like all the comfort in the world and like a completely transformed shape of your boobs. That would be really, really, really difficult to get. It is doable sometimes, but the most important thing is really to understand, what do I want out of it? And then it's really all about the size and the fit. And from our experience, the thing that the most women, and actually a lot of shops as well, so this is not anything that I want to like blame the customer for. It is actually something that the lingerie industry and all the kind of underwear shops have never taught customers to understand how sizes really work. What we've learned is that the vast majority of women are wearing bras that are way too large in the underbust. So basically, like, you know, the type of the part of the bra band that actually goes around your whole body. The vast majority of women are wearing underbust bands that are way too large. And actually, when they are too large, they dig into your skin more. So they think, oh, I need something that is even bigger than that. And it makes the problem worse, which is completely counterintuitive.
Exactly.
But actually, a lot of the times when we put women into a significantly smaller bra in the underbust, it fits them way better, and they don't have kind of these issues with having the bra digging into your skin and it like riding up the back. And, you know, just kind of this uncomfortable feeling of having something around your body that doesn't really belong there and that doesn't really fit where it is sitting. So really, it is all about size. And what we've learned as well is that a lot of women, and here I would really blame the media, because they have made us think in this way, that a lot of women are afraid of large letters. So anything that is kind of larger than a D or even larger than E, a lot of women are like, oh my goodness, no, I can't wear this. I don't have like these massive boobs. I'm not looking out. I don't look like a porn star. And it's like the perception of size and the perception of what kind of cup size corresponds to this kind of boob size, that's completely distorted for the vast majority of our customers. So I would really encourage everyone to, you know, go into a shop or go online shopping and think about, first of all, what do I want out of this bra? And then second of all, be really open to trying out something completely different, something that you've never tried out before in terms of size and in terms of fit. Because like not every boob shape fits into every bra shape. And sometimes we just have a habit of buying the same thing again and again and again. Yeah. But it's just not the best for our body, and something else would make us feel a lot better, or would maybe look like a lot better on our bodies as well.
Yeah, that's but so I know that obviously there are some brands that also offer bra fitting, but let's say that's like I get on a website and it's online and I would still want to, okay, so I already know that maybe I'm wearing a bra that's wrong size. And that also came up with one of the questions, that a lot of women say that actually they don't know if the size that they're wearing is right. So what should I do to make sure that this bra, even, okay, like it doesn't fit, I can return it, but let's say that the chances of it being good are the highest possible?
Well, obviously, people could go to a really, really, really good store. And from our experience, the kind of underwear shops that are, you know, where you have the owner running the store, and it's a small store, not a chain store. The vast majority of times, they have quite a good way of helping you to get, you know, pieces that really fit to you. So you could always go to a store like that. And otherwise, you could use like an online service like ours, where we are helping you to find something through our automated consultation. And if you wouldn't want to do anything like that, then I would always encourage you to actually get out a measuring tape. I know I don't like measuring tapes at all. It can actually get fitted on our website without using one, but they do help. If you don't know what size you've got at all, they do help. And really like take the measuring tape and, you know, take your measurements. And then the first thing that you have to get right.
Okay, so let's say that I want to, just to, you know, have all the details out there for, let's say someone that hasn't done it ever in their life, where should you measure yourself?
So the first measurement that you need to take is basically the circumference of your rib cage directly under your boobs. I'm trying to, maybe I can move my ring light so you can see.
Now, someone said in my country, in my country, once you buy a bra, you can't return it. That's really very, very weird and very sad. Yeah.
So anyway. That's not good at all. Then I would really encourage you to go to a store and try out something there. And once you've got a feeling for your size, then you can start ordering things online. But normally when you buy like in larger online stores, it's always possible to return things, or even like just try it on Amazon, because like they are always super customer friendly and you can always return, even though I know a lot of people don't like the store, but if you just don't know where to start at all, then it's quite a good idea. But if you need to measure yourself, so I'm just going to try to stand up. So this would be the circumference of your rib cage, where you have to take your measurements, and you have to always make sure that the measurement tape is always parallel to the floor, and it's not like riding up in the back or something like that. This is the
Yes.
first measurement. And then the second measurement is basically the circumference of your overbust, where your boobs are the strongest.
In the, I guess, probably there where the majority of the boob is. So like
Yes.
where it's the highest, basically.
Yeah.
But then I think like, as I said, like my boobs are very small, but I was also always wondering, like for the girls that have larger boobs, when you have boobs that are not perky and they just, you know, are like lying kind of flat on your chest, should you just raise them and there measure the circumference under them, or should you just lower where you're measuring yourself and do it like, kind of like under the boobs?
So it always depends a little bit on where you want to buy the bras, because every brand measures the body in a different way.
Okay.
However, if you do have boobs that are quite saggy and where a lot of the volume is quite deflated, it is best to wear like an unlined bra while you're measuring yourself. And even if the bra isn't fitting properly, it will still give you a better estimation of how much breast tissue you actually have.
Okay.
And another way how you could actually measure yourself is to stand up and then bend your upper body in a 90-degree angle. And then all your breast tissue is kind of pointing towards the floor. Yes. And then take a circumference, because this way it is much easier to kind of, you know, get all the tissue in and take it into your measurements. So basically at the end of that whole measurement thing, you will have two different values, like the underbust and the overbust. And with that, you could start exploring what kind of size might I have at different brands. And it's quite important to understand that not every brand will have the same way of fitting you. Yes. And even if you are buying two different bras from the same brand, you might have to buy them in two different sizes. So I really encourage everyone, don't get attached to your size. You are not like a letter and a number. Yes. You're much more than that. And it is just a piece of clothing that needs to fit you, and it needs to serve you. And you don't have to get attached to a certain size at all. It is always just a starting point of where you think you might, you know, have the best chances of getting a fitting bra. And it can always change, and it's completely normal to change throughout different stages of life, or even throughout your normal menstrual cycle. A lot of women have, yes, yeah, a lot of women, not all of them obviously, but a lot of women have larger boobs towards the end of their menstrual cycle. And some even have this only on one side and not on the other. So it you know, it just really depends. It always varies.
That's also actually, like, maybe you know, or you even have on your website, like, I know women that have also irregular breasts, so one is larger than the other, and then like comes the question if they want to have, because obviously you might just embrace it and like, you know, this is like wear something that's just more like a sports bra or like cotton bra that doesn't have really cups. But when you want to have a bra that has cups, then let's say, like, what do you actually do? And I even remember my mom has this situation, and I was once on a hunt with her to find a bra that would have like removable padding, that she could put padding in one of her cups and not the other. And it was basically almost impossible to get it. But maybe you have some ideas like how to help women that have irregular size breasts.
So if you have asymmetrical breasts, there are basically three different things that you can do. First one, you already just said it, Monica, try to find a bra that has removable padding. There are a couple of brands that have a few bras like that. And obviously it's always much nicer to, you know, just once adjust the bra so that it fits you, and then you can just throw it on in the morning and it fits you, and you don't always have to think about you know, adjusting it. So this is always the best option. But I have to agree, they are sometimes quite hard to find. And especially if you've got like a certain color or style or in your mind, or if you've got a more difficult to find size that is a little bit more rare than like your standard 75B, it might be something that's quite tricky. However, there's actually one brand, it's actually a German brand, that is just completely specializing on bras for asymmetrical breasts. So sometimes it's really just about like looking for it and, you know, doing your research, and there are some things that you can find. However, what's much more easier than that is to buy a bra that fits your larger side. So if you've got one side that is larger, this is always a side that needs to be fitted.
Okay.
Because it's always much easier to put something in the cup than to make a cup somehow larger. So you always have to fit the larger side. And if you then find a bra that fits on the larger side and it doesn't on the smaller side, you know, just put in some pads, put in something that makes, you know, that helps you to fill out the cup. And what you can do, which is basically the third option, on the smaller side, adjust the bra strap a little bit tighter, because this, if it's just a very minor asymmetry, it will help you to kind of get this additional lift, and your boobs will look more identical.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And actually, don't worry, because 65% of women do have asymmetrical breasts. It is super, super, super common, even though we never see it in the media.
Yeah, exactly. That's and another thing that I was just wondering when you were talking about like always measuring for your larger breasts.
Yeah.
And I think that like I have the feeling that majority of women in lingerie ads, they have bra that is too small. And then like the boobs are basically like falling out of the bra as if it like was supposed to make it more sexy, whereas I'm like, this doesn't look comfortable. I don't know if you maybe have like a confirmation or something like, I don't know what you think about it.
I can completely agree. The vast majority of bras that we see in lingerie ads, they do not fit, because as you said, you know, they are often too small, or they are often just like the completely wrong shape for the model, and it just doesn't fit their body, and they should just go for a completely different bra. Yeah, we see this a lot of the time, and this is actually one of the reasons why we shouldn't be surprised that so many women are wearing bras that they don't like and that you know, they don't find comfortable, because we are the vast majority of times seeing ads where women are wearing bras that don't fit them at all. Like sometimes it's even painful to look at.
Yeah.
When you see that, like, you know, so much breast tissue is spilling out of the cup and it's just way too small. And it's maybe fine if you're just standing still, but you know, it's not fine if you would like move around and go about your day, and it drives me crazy. But having said that, we just did a photo shooting a few days back, and sometimes it is really difficult to have the right bras for every single model. If you don't want to bring like, you know, 30 different items, sometimes it can be difficult. And obviously, you know, the breast tissue is soft and it moves around. So if you are moving around as a model and, you know, you're not just like standing still, it is completely normal that you might have some gaping, or that, you know, the bra might move a little bit, only up to a certain extent, obviously. It's not normal to have to adjust your bra like every 2 minutes. But, you know, a little bit of movement is completely normal. Like, think about how often...
Would you suggest jumping a bit in the bra fitting place?
I always do that. I'm always jumping in the changing room to see, you know, if it holds up.
Yeah, that's
another really great tip. But like, think about how often you are kind of adjusting your jeans or like adjusting your trousers throughout the day. It is completely normal that, you know, clothing is changing and it is moving around our body, and we have to adjust it a little bit. That is completely fine. Obviously not every 2 minutes, but every now and then.
Yeah, of course. No, it's it also brings me to the question that I wanted to ask about, because obviously we know that there, as you said, there are some stores that are dedicated to bras, small owner, like small shop owner, etc. They know what they're doing and it's great. But let's say we either don't have a store that we know like that, or it's just too far, and we just end up going to one of the big stores that sells bras. And do you think that there is some way that like different stores, it kind of almost like hacks, you know, to find a good bra in a general store? Like, what would you look first for? Like, let's say that knowing your measurements, maybe you know that, like, you know, the things that bra industry or like those big malls, like what they do or don't do, that makes it maybe harder for us to find the right bra.
Yeah. So I would always then recommend to go to a store that is known for having a large assortment of sizes. So if you're, for example, going to a store that is like specializing into like the very standard petite women with like average sized breasts, and
Yes.
they have like, you know, 75 ABC and 80
Mm-hmm.
ABC and maybe 85 ABC, and that's it. And they
Mm-hmm.
basically only got 12 or 15 sizes in store. If you go to a store like that, it is very uncommon that you will find something that really fits you, unless you're lucky and you fit into one of these like very few sizes.
Okay.
So I would always suggest to go to a store that has a large variety of different sizes, and ideally even a large variety of different brands. So in Germany, a store like Galeria Kaufhof or Karstadt. Mm-hmm. I know you don't have to like these stores. However, they do have a really good lingerie department, mm-hmm. because they have on average like 10, maybe even 15 different brands. And they do have brands that specialize in small cups, that do have brands mm-hmm. that specialize in large cups. So
yes,
you can try out a lot of different things. So I would always go to a store like that. And if you are trying to get help from a store assistant, only get help from the store assistant if you feel comfortable with them.
Yeah.
I think it's always so important that you have store assistants that you feel comfortable showing yourself to, because you're basically half naked.
Yeah.
And I've made the experience myself that I've been like trying to get help from a store assistant, and they were giving me body shaming comments, and you know, yes, I don't know why, but like I really have a tendency for like getting store assistants or retail experts that are saying like, oh, well, you've got wide shoulders, or like, oh, your skin is way too fair. And it's like, why do you have to comment on my skin? Help me find a bra that fits. Like, it is so unnecessary.
Oh, wow.
So I would really encourage everyone to only get the help from a store assistant if you really have the feeling that they are helping you, and be bold and tell them to shut the fuck off. Mm-hmm. And go away if you don't feel comfortable with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can still buy stuff there if you like it, but you don't have to have a store assistant giving you body shaming comments.
Yeah, no way. Like, but I also remember that, like, for me, because there were also some comments from women that the changing rooms is another story, you know, of buying a bra. But I even remember that I always felt like kind of awkward that I was like taking different bra sizes to the changing room, but obviously I didn't know which one would actually fit. And then like some of the nice ones, the assistants are even like, you know, checking in on you, but I always felt like I'm being rushed or something, because they're like, oh, is everything okay? Do you want a different size? And I was like, yeah, I took 3 sizes. Like, I'm just trying them on, you know, and it takes, especially when it's not summer, you need to take all the layers off.
Oh, it takes ages, doesn't it?
Yes. And then I have to also adjust it, because usually, like, from my experience, they make the bra straps as short as possible.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Like, and then I have to like stretch it all the time. So I feel that it also just takes ages to even like try it on. And then I totally understand that it's so discouraging to even go and to try something, because you feel like, oh, I'm half naked here. I'm not sure if I want this lady to come in, but at the same time, she's like asking me, you know, and yeah, I feel that it can be very hard.
It is actually very hard, but I would really encourage everyone to like take all the kind of self-esteem that you have with you on that day, and really like promise yourself to not be rushed by a store assistant, and to not take any like negative body shaming comments from anyone, and just focus on your goal of trying to find a piece of clothing that really fits you. And yeah, well, the best thing that you can do, as I said, is go somewhere where you have loads of different brands, loads of different sizes. And then if you really don't have any idea what kind of bra size you have, it is always best to find your right underbust size first, and then try to find the right cup size.
Okay.
Because if the underbust doesn't fit you, the whole bra won't give you the right kind of support.
Okay.
And it is
No, sorry. Continue. I will just ask later. Yeah.
And to find the right underbust size, you actually have to do something that might seem to be a little bit awkward. I'm trying to show it again. I'm trying to just like move my ring light here. So you have to basically put on the bra backwards. So you would take a bra, I'm just like taking a random bra here, and you put it on backwards. You are like putting it so that the hooks are at the front behind your back, and for example, this bra here is way too large for me. So I wouldn't even have to try on the cups because this one is way too large.
How do you estimate that this is too big? Because in a way it's not falling off. So someone might think like, oh, it's fine, you know, it's not on my belly.
It is sitting in the right way, and you can basically fit 2 fingers under it. And then if you like try to stretch it out, it is only giving in a little bit.
Okay.
So this, because I can like easily put it like inches away from my body, this is like way too big. This would be like way too big, and I would have to go down probably 3 sizes to have the right underbust.
Okay.
But this is always the first thing that you have to do when you try on a bra and you don't know if it will fit you or if it doesn't fit you. Just try it on the wrong way around and see if the underbust band fits your body. And if this fits your body, then you can try out if the cups fit as well.
And in terms of the level of the hooks that you have to use, do you always try it on like the smallest one or the largest one, or largest one?
You always try it on the largest one. So like I'm doing it here, always trying it on the largest one, because every garment stretches out over time. And if you stretch it out and you stretch it out, after a while it loses the support. Because the underbust band needs to be quite tight around your body. If you are buying the bra on the largest hook, then you always have the chance to make it a little bit smaller. And then, you know, the longevity of your bra will just be, you know, much longer, and you can wear it for like, you know, a really good bra of a good quality. You can wear it for like 3 years.
Okay. And then, so let's say we already know that we should try the underbust, and then only after, only after that works, we can try out different cups. And I remember that my best basically bra fitting experience that I've ever had was when I went with my friends to do it. And fortunately I went to a store that was big enough that we could both fit into one changing room. And then awesome. And then basically, you know, instead of having someone that I might not know and I might not trust, I went with my friend who's maybe not an expert, but at least she could tell me like, yeah, you know, this fits great, or like, nah, I don't think this is for you, you know. And like, because obviously I didn't take it personally when she told me like, oh, you know, your boobs don't look great in this one, because then we tried a different one and that was great. So I feel that for me it was kind of like a, you know, experiment, but very good one that also changed the way that I feel of trying out different bras in a store.
This actually sounds like an awesome idea to just take a friend with you, or take maybe your mom or your sister or cousin, whoever you're close with, take someone with you. And obviously there is kind of a right and a wrong way from a bra fitting point of view of buying a bra, or like of wearing it. But to be very honest with you, even if the bra might be sitting correctly from a bra fitting point of view, if you don't feel comfortable in it, you know, it is not the right bra for you. So at the end of the day, you yourself are always your best kind of consultant, because it's always about asking yourself, do I feel comfortable? Can I see myself wearing this every single day? Do I see myself taking this out of my underwear drawer in the morning? And will I enjoy putting it on? Or will I feel like, oh my goodness, this is not what I want to wear all day at all? So much about finding the right pieces of clothing is about your own feeling. And for example, if the bra straps have a scratchy material, you know, the bra might have a perfect fit. You will not enjoy wearing it. So it is so much about your own personal experience. That's true. having a friend or maybe your mother or another family member with you can really help you to kind of connect with yourself and, you know, be in the position of asking yourself, will I actually enjoy wearing this?
Yeah,
do I feel pretty in it? Do I like myself in it? And this is actually, to be very honest with you, way more important than having something 1000% correctly from a bra fitting expert point of view.
That's true.
At least I think this comes second. And
yes,
and actually another great tip of trying to find out if a bra is a piece of garment that you would like is to put the bra on and then put over it your normal t-shirt or whatever you might be wearing on this day.
I'm doing this all the time, and that's why it takes me forever also.
But it is so important because, like, obviously, you know, sometimes you're just wearing a bra, of course, but like the vast majority of times you are wearing other pieces of clothing over it. And it has to look great when you're wearing a t-shirt or your blouse or whatever over it. So really take the time.
Yeah, that's true. And I like wearing lacy bras, for example, a lot. But I had a few situations that I put on a t-shirt over a lacy bra, and I was like, this lace looks really weird under a t-shirt, and like I don't really like it. And I wouldn't have known that if I didn't try the t-shirt on, because I was like, oh, you know, this looks nice. But obviously, as you said, like majority of time I'm not just parading in my bra, I have something over it. And then like it added a little bit of like a weird texture to my boobs, and I was like, this is not flattering, I don't like it.
Like, for example, this bra here, I think it's super pretty. It's super beautiful, but I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
It has the stitching right over the cup. And it doesn't look good if you're wearing something over it. If you're wearing like a sweater and something that is quite wide, of course, you know, don't worry. But this is really just something that you can wear without wearing anything over it, because otherwise you will always see these this kind of embroidery, and it just doesn't look good.
Okay, and then let's say we bought a bra that we're happy with, how to take care of it? Like, what would you recommend in terms of washing? Because please don't say that you have to wash it with your hands.
Well, yes, but you have to wash it with your hands. That is always the best way of taking care of it. However, personally, maybe I can tell you how I do it personally. I always wash my bras. Well, most of the times I wash them Sunday evening when I am in the shower, and afterwards I put on some face mask or, you know, something else, and, you know, make a little bit of a self-care evening. And during that time, I just put all my bras in the sink and I let them sit in the water with some like, how do you call it?
Detergent?
Thank you. Detergent or like laundry shampoo.
Yes.
And, you know, just let them sit in there and take a little bit of time to soak. And afterwards, I clean them with clean water and let them dry, and that's it. It takes me maximum 5 minutes. Maximum. Okay. It doesn't take a long time at all. However, I do understand that a lot of women just say like, oh my goodness, no, I don't want to hand wash anything. So if you really don't want to try hand washing them at all, always put them in the washer with these kind of small little laundry bags, so that you don't have the risk of actually losing one of the wires, and the wire might actually completely destroy your washing machine. Yeah, so it's one thing having a bra that's destroyed. Obviously that's not nice, but a bra is like maximum 100 euros.
Yeah.
But if the bra wire is ruining your washing machine, that is actually getting really expensive. So always use one of these laundry bags where you're putting the bra in, and just like don't put them on a really high cycle. Don't let them run on like 1,200 or even more than that of, how do you call it?
Yeah, the spinning.
Spinnings, yeah. And you know, maximum 30 degrees, not hotter than that. And laundry detergent for like a fine wash, and you are fine washing them in the washing machine as well.
How often should anyone like wash their bras? Let's say that a bra that I wear every day, because obviously like there might be like ones that I wear once a month,
so actually, first thing, you shouldn't wear a bra every single day. A good bra is the same as a good pair of leather shoes. They do need a day of rest in between, and then the whole lifetime of your bra will really extend. because all of the kind of stretchy garments that you have in a bra, they need a little bit of time to like go back to into their normal shape again. And if you're having them stretched and stretched and stretched for days and days and days, because you're wearing them like 3-4 days in a row, the bra will, you know, start to tear apart much quicker. So it's always better to wear them like on a Monday and on a Wednesday and on a Friday, and have a day in between where you're wearing another bra. Even if you're just buying like 2 or 3 bras of exactly the same brand and exactly the same model, always better to change in between. And in terms of washing, you should wash them after 2 or 3 wears. So depending how many bras you have and how many days you have in between, yeah, it's best to wash them like every single week. Just wash all of them, and that's it.
Okay, great. And now let's say we want to not wear a bra at all, because I also once got a question when we first scheduled the live, that a girl that said that, you know, I have big boobs and I'm wondering, is it okay for me to not wear a bra? Is it going to affect the shape of my boobs because they are so heavy? And is it actually something that I should avoid and instead wear a bra to keep them in place?
Well, actually, the breast tissue and our boobs are not changing permanently if we are wearing a bra or if we are not wearing a bra. So from a health perspective, there is not a single reason that really says, well, you have to wear a bra because otherwise, I don't know, your boobs might get saggy. Yeah. You're reading this a lot of the times in like women's magazines, and, you know, don't take it seriously. It is wrong. I read up all the studies about this. I am like 99.99% certain that there is no difference if you're wearing a bra or if you're not wearing a bra. The only difference is how you are feeling, you know, if you're feeling comfortable with it. If your boobs are maybe hurting without a bra, then obviously wear one. But if you're feeling comfortable without a bra, there is not a single reason from a medical perspective or from a perspective of might my boobs change. There is not a single reason that should keep you away from not wearing a bra. The only exception is if you are going for like high intensity type of sport. So if you want to go for a run, if you're going horseback riding, things like that, then you should definitely wear a sports bra, because the impact on the breast tissue can be so heavy that you can have tears in the breast tissue. So yeah, that is painful and this can be kind of harmful, but you know, with the kind of normal day-to-day activities, you don't have that. If you're going horseback riding for hours, put a sports bra on. But honestly, I think like this is common sense. It is painful to go horseback riding or to go for a run without a sports bra. So I've never seen a woman who would want to go running without a sports bra. So actually,
in terms of sports bras also, do you also offer on your website like a selection or like help in finding a sports bra? Because I can imagine that it's a little bit different than the bras that we just spoke about.
Yeah, so we do help with sports bras. However, I do have to be really honest in terms of the technology and the kind of bra fitting advice that we are giving. We are at the moment specializing on kind of these normal everyday bras, wired bras, as well as non-wired bras, and sports bras are quite different. So we do help you with that, but we are still in the process of gathering much more data, so our recommendations can be more kind of on point. But to be honest, the vast majority of principles that you have for everyday bras apply as well for sports bras. So here we have exactly the same. The underbust band needs to be tight, and this one needs to be fitting. And this is always the most important thing. And then it's a lot about kind of what is the woman looking for. Do they want wired bras while they're making sports? Do they want a bra that has like a molded cup?
Yes.
Or do they want a bra that has just like a lined cup for sports? So like it really depends. And yeah, sports bras, actually the best advice that I can give you is try to look for sports bras that have a normal hook and eye closure in the back.
Okay.
Because if you've got these sports bras that you are just kind of putting over your head, the underbust band obviously needs to be very stretchy, because otherwise you couldn't kind of put it over your body. And because you're getting the support from your underbust band. A bra that you can put over your whole body can always only give you like a very light support for maybe yoga or Pilates. That's completely fine. But if you want a bra for like high impact sport, like horse riding or going for a run, you always need a bra that you can just close on the back like any other bra. And actually don't buy something like this that has just only 2 hooks. Always try to find something that has got 3 or even 4 hooks. Because the wider the underbust band is, the more support it can give you, especially for sports bras.
Wow. That's a lot of great information. I have to process that, but thank you so much. And let's just wrap up with a little bit of a talk about boobs in general, because as we said at the beginning that, you know, bras are the part that, you know, is tricky, but I would say that equally hard is just to learn how to love your boobs the way they are and not to get discouraged by the fact that, even as one of the questions I asked, do you see your type of boobs represented in ads? And 75% of women said that they don't. So obviously it's not easy when everywhere around you see a very particular type of breast, usually young, perky, not too big, not too small, you know, something like, I don't know, BC, maybe cup, something like that. And it's just like, you know, it's very personal here also for me, because all my life I always felt like my boobs are too small. And I never really thought of having a breast augmentation, but at the same time, I just used bras as a way to, you know, fake it in some way. But at the same time, I felt really bad because I was like, okay, so like outside it maybe seems that I have the bra that's like desired by the society, or like, you know, what's considered to be right, but deep down I knew that, okay, I'm just like faking it. And I think that it's just so important that we show with photos, with ads, in media, that, you know, breast doesn't have to be perky and young and small, or like, you know, medium size. All of them are beautiful.
I completely agree, and I'm still trying to find ways of like trying to help every woman understand that, and not just like understand it on a like, you know, brain
rational,
feel it, you know, like from an emotional perspective, to just like really be content with how their boobs look like. And I don't know what you think about it. Please let me know your views. But personally, I think it would help tremendously if we could just show breasts and boobs in public and on Instagram, because like by now we've got like so many awesome profiles who are showing like, I don't know, skin with acne, or like skin with loads of wrinkles, or like other things that are from a traditional kind of beauty point of view are not considered to be beautiful, although they still are, but like, you know, it's showing them. And you've got so many different Instagram profiles who are showing like cellulite on round bellies.
Sorry, one second before it disappears. Pure golden barrel. I used to wear padded bras in order to look like I have boobs. Well, same here. I was wearing only push-up bras for a very, very long time, and I actually developed some like weird skin condition on my breasts because of the lack of like airflow that was there, you know.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, because I think that, you know, I was 20 something, like the early 20s, and I got like a little bit of like dark spots on my skin, and then like, you know, everyone was like, well, how did it happen? You don't have big bras, like you breasts. I mean, it usually happens to women that are either you know, larger women in general with large breasts. And I was like, well, maybe it's because I was wearing those bras that basically didn't allow my skin to breathe, and that was the thing that it needed. So yeah.
Well, that sounds actually really, really bad. And I don't know really what to say other than like, there are some bras that can help like airflow, because they have a material that's like very, very breathable. And most of the time, obviously not all of the times, and I'm obviously not a doctor, but most of the times when women are developing skin conditions where the bra is sitting, it is again another sign that the bra isn't fitting the body, and that it would be a good idea to like go to a really great store or get some help online to find something that fits better. Because the vast majority of times we have like wires sitting on parts of the body where the wires shouldn't sit, or the bra is just way too big and it's just moving around way too much. So
Annalisa here commented from Berlin Wood Sisters, there is a woman in Berlin who makes boob selfies to advocate diversity of boobs. Well, that's a great idea. Please share in like, it's Diana Salgado design. Okay, I will check it out later.
This is awesome. And there are by now some artists as well who making like boob pots and like showing different, wait, I can show you, I have them like 1 meter away from me. And they're showing like diversity of boobs, like.
Yes. Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't this cute?
Yeah, great.
And because obviously
asymmetrical,
they're asymmetrical, they're a little bit saggy, they're definitely not what you kind of would see in like the vast majority of magazines, and it is obviously fake, it is obviously art, so Instagram isn't banning it, because you always have this issue that like whenever you're showing pictures, as you know, you know, you can't show them because they are like taken offline. And I think that is one of the reasons why so many women are still struggling with their body, because we are not seeing a representation of all different boob shapes, of all different breast sizes, because there is still this, you know, not allowed to show female nipples anywhere online. There is still this, there's this restriction and stigma, and I think it would just help all of us as a society so much if we could just get away of the stigma and just show everything and show how bodies actually look like, and then we would all understand that we are all okay as we are, and nobody looks like the photoshopped versions that we are seeing in ads the whole time. This is not real.
Yes, exactly. And I think that it's also important, like, you know, representation matters, as I always say, like with my photos and whatever I do, that if I would have seen, you know, girls with my body type, tiny breasts and then big butt, I wouldn't feel like I don't fit. That, you know, I either have to have everything full, or I have to be like a skinny ballerina, that I don't have hips and I don't have boobs, and then I somehow also fit into like the Keira Knightley type. But I felt like, well, you know, half of my body is in this and half of my body is there. So I do feel that we are on the way there, I hope, but there's still a way to go. And as you say, unfortunately, the social media that connected us at the same time, it's making this work much harder, because they are definitely not open to just showing different body types, and they're mostly wanting to promote what we already have seen everywhere. The skinny, perky women with, you know, either fake boobs or just boobs that look like fake ones, which, well, they are, we can say that in the culture that we have, they are lucky to have breasts like that, and obviously that also happens. But I think that it's really sad when you think that number one in the breast, breast surgery is number one in the type of plastic surgeries that's happening around the world. So you don't have to enlarge your breasts, ladies.
And you don't have to make them smaller either. Like, both is completely fine. And actually there is quite a famous study that asked women if they are happy with their boobs, and if they are not happy, what they would like to change. And like 90% of women said that they are not happy with their boobs. And I believe it was about 2/3 of them who wanted to have larger boobs, and the other third wanted to have smaller boobs, or just like change the shape of the breasts. And it just makes me so sad, because obviously these figures show that there is something wrong with our society, that we have all been like brainwashed to want something that is unachievable, and that is, you know, that is very normed, that is just like one way of beauty in everything that we are thinking about when we are thinking about boobs. It's just not healthy. And I really think that it's so important that we have people like yourself who are showing pictures and are like showing the beauty in all shapes and sizes, and you know, like companies like ours who are trying to encourage people to like themselves as they are and to find something that fits the body and not, you know, change your body to fit some clothes. I think this whole idea is just like really weird and really wrong. And I still know that there's a very long way to go, but I would hope that in 20 years time, it would be really odd to think about a time where 90% of women didn't like their boobs.
Yes. Well, let's drink to that. Thank you very much, Melanie. Yes. I have my tea here.
Well, get better soon. It was so nice talking with you.
Yes, thank you so much. So many important informations. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and please stay with us on the channels and discuss it. And you know, every comments are very well appreciated. And thank you so much, Melanie.
Thank you so much,
wishing
Monica.
you a nice Sunday evening. Bye bye.
Bye.